conversation for so we hit the record button. We're going live on Facebook.
Okay.
I got to talk myself through it because it's multiple steps. So don't judge me.
Take your time.
I say, don't judge me while I do this. Because I'm always like, I know how I'm doing. I know how to do this. Okay, it's saying preparing. Okay, it's gonna make me do like three other steps. Mm-mm-mm. I gotta type all this stuff here. Do I say your last name Pullum?
Pulliam.
Pulliam.
Hmm.
Pulliam. I'm gonna call you a comms wonderkin.
I
And
love your descriptions.
I just like to hype people up. Because it's true. We are wonderkin. Okay. And I'm gonna hit the live button. It still say preparing. Okay. All right, so we're going to be rolling out a lot of programming for side hustlers.
Ooh.
So I am going to be sure to talk to you about that. So I
Okay.
forgot to mention that. Okay, I love how I catch myself in the camera, like, girl, pull it together. Okay, so it's saying that we're live on Facebook.
Oh, okay. We should
So
probably get serious.
smile. Yes. No, no, serious. That's not why people tune in. Uh, serious programming. Yeah. Look at us go.
We here.
4 minutes and counting. So if you are tuning into this, if you're watching the replay, fast forward through like the first 6 minutes. This is just us getting our tech lives together. But know that we have outfits and glam on just for you.
Just for you.
just, just for you. Just for you. It's so good to see your face in the place.
Oh my word, yours too. Gosh, I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. Obviously not in person, but
No, I
live,
think
right?
was the last time I saw you was 2019, wasn't it? Or
It
was it
was. Well,
early?
we did
Yeah,
the dinner, the wine
yeah,
dinner. That's
yeah.
gosh, I can't remember when that was.
It might have. Oh man, I can't remember either. Womp, womp,
I guess it
womp.
was last year because wasn't it chilly out?
Yeah, it was cold. It was cold because I was definitely bundled up. I had my fabulous jacket on, if I
Yes.
recall, and we sat next to each other.
We did and made our way around the room, but still made it
I'm
back.
like, I'm still talking to you because like
Uh-huh.
you're my takeaway from this event. You're right.
I
You're the
love
one
it. And
person I'm going to collect in this room. That's you.
listen, and look at us now. We live.
We're doing a show. We're doing a show. Ooh, okay. Hi, Monica. Hi, Cece. Monica and Cece are on my team. They're going to be
Oh,
tagging and
hi.
saying hello. Monica will chat me if we have questions that come in. Monica will chat me, and then I'll go. Oh, question from the floor. I have a whole command station. I'm sure you do too. But I have like I could see the thing over here on a separate monitor. So
Listen, I normally do that in my day job, but since I'm a guest, all I got is like a couple talking points and the two of us. That's all I
oh
need.
my goodness, that
That's all I need.
I just
Everything else shut down. That's all I
well,
need.
that does my heart so like heartful. The idea of talking points, because like I'll tell that to people all the time. Like, what, no matter what you do, meeting, interview, it doesn't matter if it's the National Enquirer or the Today Show. Have your talking points. What are your
Hmm.
talking points? Don't go into anything without talking points.
That's right. You can never have too much prep, and it helps you from being like in the middle of the
Oh yeah,
conversation.
or saying some stuff that you're like, now I gotta walk it back, or I painted myself in a corner. Now what do I do?
Yes.
Or I forgot to mention that one thing that
One
I
thing.
meant
That's the
to
main reason that I was here.
say. I was gonna do that thing. All right, 1 minute and counting. Everyone, look alive. Look alive. I don't know. Did I tell you I got a pandemic puppy?
Did you?
Yeah, his name is
Oh,
Dante. So we have to do a puppy play date when we can
we
go
do. We
because
do.
now he's got all his shots. He can do like official puppy play dates. Um, he's a Shar.
Oh, so he's all wrinkly
He's
and
all
chubby.
squish. Oh yes, yes. And he got like he's just a little old grumpy man. So I saw that photo of your dog with a necktie on. I was like, if Dante didn't have all them rolls, I would put it. He can wear a bow tie, but he cannot wear a necktie, which the squish is too much to contain all of that.
Listen, yes. Oh, I'd love for us to do play days. Now, it
Yeah.
takes a little bit for Jackson to warm up because he's a senior. He's 12 now.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
but
Oh,
I think
see,
it'd be
dog
great
could
for
be.
him to make some friends, Jackson and Dante. Maybe they can
Well,
have a show.
maybe it'll be really lively with Dante like judging each of us because he likes to sit down and judge folks. Like he gets a little bouncy every now and again, but he likes to sit down and judge everybody. So I appreciate him. Okay, it's 3 o'clock on the dot. Now that we talk, now I got us all off track. Sorry, pulling us back on track. Shelly's in the house. I hope bring your talking points. Was it next week, Shelly? Week after? Shelly's gonna be a guest on the show too, and she has also made the same transition you have, like military into corporate life. So I want to make sure that you two connect. So we'll do that as well. So we're officially gonna start. So everyone, best behavior. Hello, hello, hello. 3 o'clock on the dot. It's Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Success Bully is an elite accountability practice. So that makes me your personal professional butt kicker. Thank you for joining us in the 5 days of focus. This is our top secret, not so top secret Facebook group that we've built around supporting women in achieving their goals. And one of the things that I want to share today that I'm super jazzy pants about and I'm really excited about, and Alicia, you couldn't be more timely on this one. And like we are launching a new challenge. So we've been doing a 5 days of focus challenge like every few weeks to help people recalibrate their goals, get back on track. But this time we're getting super specific and we want to support our side hustlers. We want to support our side hustlers. So we are doing a special challenge just for our side hustlers. So all the side hustlers in the group, wave your hands, hands up in the air, hashtag side hustle in the comments. Let us know because we want to show up for you. So our 5 days of focus is going to start on December 14th. And this is our 5 days of focus challenge for our aspiring corporate escape artists. So as a former side hustler who escaped corporate, I'm going to share some of my tips and best practices to make that transition, to help you kind of get in alignment, get your duckies in a row so that you can comfortably submit your letter of resignation. All right. So that starts on December 14th. You can register. You can register for the 5 days of focus challenge via successbully.com/challenge, or you can follow up with your concierge. Our personal concierges are Monica and Cece. Y'all, I forgot the letters of the alphabet you own. So Monica, if you could chat me, I keep forgetting how to do that part. But join us, join us, join us. So we're rolling out a whole new challenge dedicated to our side hustlers. So make sure your face is in the place. And so now that I got myself all excited about this, let me bring my blood pressure down. I whoo, ooh, it's just a centering exercise.
I love it.
I am so excited to welcome Aliesha Pulliam to our show. A little bit more about her. She's an executive communications manager, and as a recovering PR person, it does my heart so well to know that you had talking points ready, that you appreciated my prep document. Shelly, there's a prep document coming. So Alicia is an executive comms over at Microsoft, and she works with two vice presidents in the Global Partner Solutions Organization. She develops communication platforms spanning their vision, thought leadership. You'll hear more about thought leadership. That's a thing that we all need to be focused on. Business strategy and Microsoft's mission. She is also chief of staff for Blacks at Microsoft Worldwide, which is one of the longest running ERG groups in the tech space. So you recently celebrated a 30-year anniversary, I believe.
Yeah.
It has over 4,000 members, and that is to develop. The mission is to develop and strengthen a strong network of Black leaders at Microsoft to enhance the company's diverse and inclusive culture. Alicia is also a veteran of the U.S. Navy, and this is important when we're talking about transitions. She served 8 years as an electronic technician and received special orders to serve at the White House Communication Agency. One more time, she was at the White House, y'all, where she traveled the world installing comms equipment in support of events, for the executive office of the president. Come on now, y'all. Come on. After 20 years in electronics and IT, Alicia actually made a transition. She transitioned her career to communication, which is really interesting because usually, techie folks don't go into comms. So I'm sure that that was quite a shift for you. So I want to talk more about that. Communications and marketing. She has a master's degree in strategic communication from George Mason University. Come on, girl. Come on. She has a passion to help other military veterans and professional women achieve their career goals. So, in addition to being a powerhouse at Microsoft, she also has a side hustle, which is AP Career Coaching, where she does one-on-one coaching and public speaking and shares her career transition from military to Microsoft and insights on building a strong professional network. I am so excited. I'm trying not to cry my lashes off because every time like I have a guest, I'm like, I'm so proud of them. And I'm like, okay, don't get too emotional. Don't get too emotional. So like now handing it over to you, share a
Yeah.
little bit about your background and your thought process in your career evolution.
Oh gosh. Well, Keita, first I want to say thank you so much for this opportunity to be able to speak to your group. Oh, this is so exciting. It's also amazing because I have sat at the feet of the Keita Williams
Ah!
and learned some of the things that I know today. I have gone through the 5 days of focus challenge, and look at me now.
Yeah,
Look at me
look at
now,
you.
people.
Special guest.
I'm
Special
on
guest,
this
everyone.
side. On this side. Let me stop. Okay. But also, thank you so much for sharing about my background. So I'll dig a little deeper into it. I'm originally from Burlington, North Carolina. So for those that don't know too much about North Carolina, it's just a small town that's not far from Charlotte, about, an hour or so from Raleigh, Durham. And I got my first job when I was 13 years old. My
Hello.
parents signed me up for a summer program at one of our local churches. And my first job where I paid taxes, I was a clerical aide for the summer in the front office of my high school. And it was so timely because I was transitioning to ninth grade that year.
Mm-hmm.
So I got an opportunity to learn all around the school, find my way all around. I was the most well-informed freshman that they ever had. But what I didn't realize is that was also my first experience in networking, because when I worked in the office, I got to know the principal and the guidance counselors and the summer school teachers. So it was a really good experience. And during the time when I was in high school, I worked a job on the side. Side hustle is in the blood. So I worked a job on the side as a bookkeeper in a grocery store. And like the idea of potentially going to college and living the same life of having a part-time job and also going to class full-time just didn't appeal to me. So when I was in 11th grade, I convinced my parents to sign me up for the Navy. So they can
Oh
get you
wow.
pretty early. It's called DEP. It's the delayed entry program. So I signed up letting them know my intent was to join the Navy. And then a month after high school, I did. First time on a plane,
Oh
flew to
wow.
Great Lakes, Illinois. This was country girl making her way.
Went to Great Lakes.
Great Lakes, right? Great Lakes,
Your first
yeah.
interesting place was Illinois.
Yeah. So I made my way up to Illinois, and we were in a co-ed division. And so I got to be second in command, which is called AROC when you're in basic training for the Navy. So I was the assistant recruit chief petty officer
Oh,
and
go
got
on
to
then.
tell people what to do and keep them in line. And also I got to sing cadence. I'm gonna sing a little bit for you.
Oh,
No.
hold on, Shelly. Get ready, because I'm gonna have you do the same thing.
I'm gonna pass that on to Shelly. So this is enticing you all to make sure you come for her session so you can hear her sing a little bit too. No, but
I love it. I love it. I love it.
but that gave me an opportunity to be like in a leadership role, right? So I was
Mhm.
really excited about that. And for my job in the Navy, I was an electronics technician. So I was responsible for managing extremely high frequency satellite communications and handheld radios and climbing up on the top of the ships and things like that. It was pretty wild thinking about it now because I was 18 years old doing those things. But
Fearless,
yeah,
fearless at 18.
fearless, right? Fearless. But the beauty of that is that that expertise is what helped me to get
Hmm.
a special duty assignment for the White House Communications Agency. So, disclaimer: I didn't actually work at the White House. We was like down the street and
You
around
were
the corner.
you were on the same block as the White House. Doesn't matter.
We,
You was on the same
right,
block.
right. We was close enough. I mean, I was traveling with the president and the vice president, but I wasn't actually in the White House. I'm going to make that clarification. But we call the organization WACA for short,
Uh-huh.
WHCA. So I was at WACA during George W. Bush's administration, and we were essentially roadies for the executive office of the president, traveling around, setting
Roadies.
up communication. location, setting up the podium,
Mhm.
setting up, the lights and things like that. It was a really, really great opportunity. But fun fact, I broke my ankle playing racquetball during that time. So there was a period where I wasn't allowed to travel because I couldn't carry the equipment and climb up and down on the buildings and stuff. And so I was sent over to the training department. And there in the training department, I helped launch the training academy, which they still have today. So we were teaching new people how to do the mission that I
Uh-huh.
currently was too broken to do. And
Too
so,
broken.
too
Playing
broken,
racquetball though, of all the
right?
things.
Of all the things, all the things. We won though.
Twists and
We won.
turns. Twists and turns, right?
But what the benefit of me being over helping to launch the training academy is I got connected with a company that was building out a learning management system. And so
Mhm.
I was a project manager for that engagement, and they hired me when I got out of the military.
Oh,
And
wow.
that company was a partner of Microsoft's. And
Oh, I
so
see the twist coming. I see the
see
twist and
it,
turn. Here we
you
go. Here we
see
go.
it.
Here we go. Go on then. Go on then. I
Uh-huh.
was like, okay, we started at high school. She gonna take me somewhere.
High school, I learned about networking. In the Navy, helped me learn leadership, got me to
Okay.
DC. All right. Then I got connected with the Microsoft partner. And then about almost 4 years ago, a Microsoft recruiter found me on LinkedIn. She liked what she saw. They brought me on board. Boom.
Boom, boom. That's how we do it. That's
That's how we do it.
so then what has kind of been like your driving force when because you've had this really fascinating backstory and to go from like climbing up on things on different parts of the world, traveling with the president to a learning management software company. Like what has been your guiding force when you've had to make those decisions about those transitions in your career?
Yeah, it's always been this slight desire to always want a little bit more for
Mm,
myself and for my family, right? Growing up, I mean, look, putting all my business in the street. So my parents were divorced, but very much good friends. Obviously both of them were in my life, but ultimately, like just living in a single parent home. And my mom did a fantastic job of like, raising us and everything. But every now and then I'd be like, if I could just have a little bit more, like a
right.
little bit extra, right? And so the idea of just staying in my hometown didn't appeal to me, but going someplace else different. So joining the Navy was fantastic, right? It gave me this exposure to other cultures and other people. And I saw that getting that little bit more is possible. And
Oh,
so when other opportunities and things come my way, like I get so excited, like I may not be great at it or may not be, perfect at it, but I'll definitely try because it's a little bit more than what I'm doing now. So
oh,
that
a
usually
little
keeps me
bit more.
motivated.
I like it. Yes,
Just a little bit
get
more.
more, get
Just
more,
a
get
little
more.
bit.
So like what is your advice so like once you transition out of the military
Mhm.
and then so you were kind of doing something in the IT space, doing in the space. And then you made this huge transition to communication. What was that like? And what's your advice for some of our viewers that are thinking about making a big transition in their career?
Yeah, I'd say one of the I think like the biggest lesson I
Mhm.
learned during that time is that nothing is ever wasted. And
Ooh,
it was really
can we
good. I had
post that
some
in the comments?
Listen, nothing is ever wasted, right? So, right to your point, going from electronics to IT to then communications, like it is a big leap, and it doesn't sound like a natural progression.
Mhm,
It
mhm,
sounds a bit
mhm.
off, but working with some fantastic mentors and then some great managers, and they really helped me understand that you need to start with a self evaluation. You really need to
Mm,
take the time and look at what are the things that you're doing in your current job that you enjoy. What are there some things that you would like to do? And once you have that list, then use that information to help you identify what's my next step, right? A lot of times what we'll do is we'll just, look online and like read up on some things. And that's what I did. When I was tired of electronics and I knew I wanted to get into IT, I started reading those articles about what are the hottest career trends,
right,
right?
right, right, right,
Or
right, right.
like,
Mhm,
the top 10 careers in the next
mhm.
10 years, and I'm reading them and I'm like, I don't want to do any of that. Like,
Like,
I
I don't
get
want
it.
none of this top 10. They can keep it.
Right. But what we usually do is that we try to force ourselves into one of
Mhm,
those roles, right? And so we're reading and we're like, I think I can do that. And the money looks like this and the opportunity looks like that. But if you have that self evaluation and you stop and think about everything that you've done because nothing's wasted. I talked about all these crazy things that have happened, but everything in some way, like this
mhm,
opportunity set me up for the next. It set me up for the next. And
mhm.
so when I documented all of that and I highlighted the things about everything that I've done that I really liked, my mentor, my manager helped me understand it's either communications, it's marketing, it's PR, it's that. It's not this crazy troubleshooting. It's
Right.
not writing code. You obviously know how to do it and you can do it, but it's not what entices you. So I would say, my advice, right, is to do that self-evaluation, identify the things that are your strong suits and your transferable skills, and then remind yourself that nothing is ever wasted. Let me tell you this real quick. So
Go for it. Go for it. I'm on the edge of my seat. Like, tell me more. I'm like,
I love talking to students, and every
Mhm.
opportunity that I get and I can reach out to students and just, really connect with them and share my journey and answer their questions. This is something that I always tell them about, because a lot of times they're, let's say, high school students, right? And they're like, we're thinking about what our future is going to look like, and we're trying to draft our resume right now. And there's the concern of when we get out of college, we're not going to have an experience. And so I remind them nothing's ever wasted. So you currently have experience. You've got the baseline requirements right now. You just really need to identify like how to massage the things that you've done, right?
Right.
So you used to babysit. Okay, well, now you got time management skills. Or you've organized a food drive. Okay, well, you got a little bit of project management skills. Or you spent all that time in Girl Scouts. Girl, you self-employed. You know how to work your own business.
You know how to
right?
sell them cookies.
So when you start to reframe it and do that self-evaluation and look at those skills, then it's a matter of, okay, which one of y'all jobs are going to fit me versus me trying to fit you?
Trying to fit the job. That's so interesting, because I think like the nothing ever wasted. Like when I think about, I spent 15 years in comms. And so like when I think about the things that I do now as an entrepreneur, that so much of it was like there was like this preparation of like climbing the ranks, and I was like agency side most of my career. And that like I always ran the media training. I always did media training because no one else wanted to do it. I love doing the mock interviews. I love doing all that. And here we are.
Yep. Look,
Here
putting
we
it
are.
all into action, but for yourself, right? The way that you want to do it. This is great. I love it.
But it's like this, nothing's ever wasted. So that thing that nobody else wanted to do on the team is something I really enjoy doing, and now has been like a major component of how we build this practice, right? So I totally agree. And I love the way you say nothing's ever wasted. Just
Ever.
reframe
Nothing.
it. Nothing.
Yes.
Yes, a little reframing. So now let's talk about your network is your net worth. I know that you said you learned about professional networking in your summer job before high school. Your parents try to get you out the house for the summer.
Right.
So now, knowing that that's been kind of a thread throughout your journey, what's your approach to cultivating your power network?
Yeah, I love that you use that term power network.
Mm-hmm.
Have you trademarked it? Can I borrow it?
Go ahead. You can actually use it like you said it.
Yay! I love it. I love it. I love it. Power network. Yes. So whenever I work with my clients and my coaching business one-on-one, and I'm talking about building their professional network, the main thing that I stress is the importance of developing your contacts. Right. So a lot of times we think of networking as simply connections, and connections are great. I have a lot of them on LinkedIn. I'm sure, the audience does as well. But there are certain people that you should place in your power network. Right.
Go on then. Go on
Yes,
then.
I love it. And those are the ones that you have really like developed a rapport and cultivated a relationship, right? And so the people who are in my power network, they're the ones that, we keep up with one another, right? We'll send kudos from time to time. We check in, we give each other encouragement. We're really supportive of the things that, we're doing. We'll offer support. So I know I can call on them. They can call on me, right? We're there to help one another. Depending on the industry, maybe we'll send, business contacts to one another. And like I've had an opportunity to share my career journey to their mentees. They've talked to my mentees. And so it really is that relationship building. I think that's what's so key. So again, it's more than just, we exchange numbers and that's it, or I'm following you on social and that's it, right? It really is building and cultivating that relationship. And then, at any time, if you need to reach out to them, you know that they're there for you and vice versa.
Oh, and that takes intentionality.
It does.
Because I do think that like in a world where obviously we're on social media, so don't take this the wrong way. Don't not watch this right now because I'm talking about social media. But we confuse followers with network.
Say that.
And that we confuse friend requests with relationships,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like the it takes nurturing, it takes just like any other relationship, like one of the things I like to do, I'll randomly text you some encouragement, but I also send a yo. I will send you an email and the subject line is yo, just so you can hear me saying it. And it's nothing, but I just wanted to check in, see how you doing. I don't want nothing, like I'm not asking you for nothing. I just want to see how you doing. We want to do some coffee. You want to do virtual coffee, whatever. But like, I think like I've been a people collector for a very long time, pre social media, that I just fascinated by people and just like, if you got a group of my friends in one back when we could have parties. Um
You remember that?
you
So
remember
long ago.
parties that I wouldn't go to, like that I would be like, nah, I ain't going to that.
Now you wish you had.
And now I'm like,
Mm-hmm. I wish I'd gone at least to one of them.
one of them parties, at least one party in 2020. Anyway, but and you ask people how they met me, there's always some like random story, like I sat next to Keto on this, or one of my friends told this story where she thought I was hitting on her because I
Oh
was like,
no.
"You're so pretty, can we be friends?" I was so awkward, I didn't even care. Like, "You look so cool, I want to be your friend. Here's my phone number." It was awkward as all get out. We the best of friends right now. So anyway,
Love it. I love it. Yes.
but it takes that intention. And so
Mm-hmm.
now, I think that when we're talking to, especially to like our side hustlers and our our career driven folks that have a vision of building something else, like that network is so important. So how does your network kind of play into your big vision with your career coaching?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Mhm.
So right now, I can say that the majority of my clients have actually come through my network.
Mhm.
Someone was talking to someone else and they mentioned that, I'm doing a career transition or whatever the case may be. And so those introductions have happened, and that's been fantastic. And then just talking to members of my network, I've been able to just get some insights on other services that I could offer, right? So having that connection with them, having the rapport, and it not just feel all businessy, but like to
Right.
your point, like being genuine and having those conversations with my network, like I've been able to just pull so much information from them. They may not know that I've always been soliciting feedback, but I'm always paying attention,
Listen.
right? Always.
Like, you may not know this, but I am market testing something
Mm-hmm.
right
I'm like,
now.
please tell me more. So what's the concern that you've had at your company? But like, I got a plan for
I
that.
got a, I got a, I got a solution for that. I got a solution for that.
Yes.
So, like, how are you balancing your high impact corporate career and your side hustle? Because I remember those days. So, tell me how you did it or
Listen,
are doing it.
these days I feel like balance is it's a bad word. It's so hard to do. We all are struggling. I love how work-life balance is no longer a thing. Now it's like
Blur.
work-life integration or work-life harmony, right? Like we're finding all these other words because balance is a
Harmony. I haven't heard that one.
it's a bit of a mirage, like trying to
Like,
find a balance,
harmony? Right.
So the way that I try to keep things in harmony, right,
Now
is
go on.
really getting serious with managing my calendar and then
Hmm.
staying in my lane. Those have been the top two
Yep.
things. If I've learned nothing else during this pandemic, obviously I've heard it and you know it, but I've had to actually put it into practice in order to just like de-stress and like protect my peace, right? So
Hmm.
I could easily spend a whole day just working on my business. Or, obviously my corporate role could take up my whole day as well, and there'd be no time to eat, sleep, or anything.
Yep. Yep.
So I really have to make sure that everything gets planned in my calendar. And just a little plug, because I work for Microsoft. So
Yeah.
those of you that are using Outlook, there is this feature of focus time. And so
Hmm.
Outlook can help you, right? Of finding pockets of time in your schedule where it looks like you don't have anything going on. So you might as well block it off for
Yep.
focus time. And
Yep.
so I do that. And I use that focus time for everything. So not just prepping for my next meeting, but I use it to get something to eat. I use it to walk
Hmm.
my dog. I use it to stretch or, whatever. So that way I can try to find a little bit of like sanity.
Okay.
Um, and then the stay in your lane. Okay, so coming from the military, it's just ingrained in us to like dig deep, right? If
Hmm.
something needs to be done, boom, raise my hand, I'll jump in there and I'll do it. And you know how other people are, they're like, oh, well, go ahead.
Right. Like, go ahead and burn yourself out. Go ahead.
Go
That's
ahead,
fine.
go ahead, go ahead
You're
and
not
earn
getting
this
no more money.
paycheck for me.
Yeah, you're not gonna get no more money from us.
Not gonna get
But
no more
yeah,
money,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
So these days, I remind myself, Alicia, you need to stay in your lane. There are members of the team who can do that. So a great example is when I'm prepping content for my executives, right? I'll join the initial meeting. I understand that they need to come and do a presentation, and then let's say a Q&A at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'll get with the executives team, and I'll identify, okay, this is the outline, this is the topics that I want to cover, and these are some high level talking points. Now I need you guys to give me the meat. Call me when you're done.
Yeah.
And they do it. Now it
Right.
used to be me running
I
around.
put all the meat on it. Y'all, if y'all could rewrite that,
you know,
you know, I know.
girl, used to kill myself. I'm in there in the system like, I don't even know how these metrics work, but this looks good. Why am I doing that? The whole
That's not
team, they're
my
literally
job.
there. It's not my job. So yeah, so protecting that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Making sure everything's scheduled so I know exactly what I'm going to work on. And then of course, staying in my lane, man, those have been clutch this year.
Okay, you got some like that's some powerful coaching there because I don't call it time management. I call it ruling your time
Ooh,
because time
okay.
management implies it can call in sick. It can have all these excuses, but when you are the
Okay.
monarch of your time, you rule it. And like
Hey.
I'm a big fan of that time blocking. I will say no in a minute, and I'll say no with no explanation.
Yes.
Just nope.
Now, depending on who it is, I will be like, let me propose a new time. But you're right. I could get better at just saying no sometimes. It's
Just
like, do I
no.
really need to be in this
Um,
meeting?
like, well, can y'all send me the recap? Because if you're in meetings all day, how are you supposed to do your work?
It's true. This is
Just
true.
throwing that out there. Not that's why we escaped corporate. So what is your when you're thinking about your big vision? Like you didn't start a career coaching business just to have fun with it. So what's your big vision for it?
Yes. Okay. So you shared, a bit of my bio at the top of the call about how it really is my dream to be able to support women so that they can get in this position where I am. It's like, yes, I have my coaching business, but I do enjoy my corporate job because I'm finally doing something that I feel like it aligns with, my skill set. And so
Hmm.
when we talk about like my purpose when it comes to my coaching business, I really want to make sure that I can help other women achieve, this peace that I have, right? This excitement that I
Right,
have,
right, 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 right,
right?
right. Where you enjoy it every day.
Yes. And then the
Okay.
same for veterans in general. So, gosh, when I think about how my transition was from the military, there is a program that we can do. It's called TAP. It may have different names in other branches, but in the Navy, it's TAP, Transition Assistance Program. And the intent is to try to help us prepare to move over into the civilian workforce. And my experience was not the best. I've talked to others. Their experience could have been better as well. And
Hmm.
so I see that as another goal, like finding a way that I can really get in early when it comes to our veterans and supporting them into their career transition, holding hands if I need to, like whatever they need,
Hmm.
so that it's a bit smoother and they have an idea of what they want to do. A lot of people, from what I've seen, is whatever job you had in the Navy, if there's, or speaking about the Navy, if there's an equivalent in the civilian world, you will just naturally go to that. But is that really what you want to do?
Right,
Like for
right, right.
me, as an electronics technician, the equivalent job out in the real world was a TV repair person or a refrigerator repair person, like
Oh, thank
literally
you.
working behind the scenes. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. So yeah, so
I don't want to do that.
I don't want
No,
to do
that didn't
that.
sound like fun at all.
No, not at all. Yeah. So my passion, I feel like my purpose is really being able to help women in their careers and then help support our veterans with their career transitions.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All the things. So then when you think about are there any other like hacks that you'd like to share, whether it's charting your course in your career, managing your time, even managing your peace? What are some of your patented your hacks?
Hacks. Let's see. Patent pending.
Go on then.
I do love to share with my clients just like a simple process that I use with
Hmm.
growing my network. Right. There'll be some people who just naturally become a part of your network because they're your coworkers, and so you
Yeah.
find each other on LinkedIn, and boom, you're connected. But growing your network outside of the people that you're typically with every day, like I try to help them with, okay, here's a technique that you can use to get you to that point. And so the technique, now back in the day, the technique was, this is what you do when you're in person.
Right. Back when we used to go places.
Yeah, when like networking in the real world was a
When we
thing,
used
like
to
this is
go
how you can do
places and
it.
we'd sit next to each other at a dinner and be like, we friends, right? We friends. Good.
Yeah, so now, I mean, it still works, but it's all about like that approach, right? So how are you approaching the other person, you
Mhm.
know? And honestly, in my opinion, virtual networking is better than in-person networking,
Mhm.
because some people clam up at the idea of walking up to someone and introducing themselves.
Right.
You and I don't have that problem,
No,
but
not at all.
not at
Not at
all.
all. Not
But for
even, no. Never been
but
a
for
problem.
some people, it stresses them out. And even the idea of like Alicia, oh, I'll introduce, like, no, they don't want to do that either.
No, no, no.
So, so from a virtual perspective, right, you can still approach people using like LinkedIn, for example, but you get a chance to read up on them a little bit and see what they're all about. And so then when you send that connection, you can send that personal message, and not just, hi, I'd like to add you to my network, but, you know, really
Mhm.
tailor it in such a way so that they see, okay, there is a benefit for us to connect. And then from there, like kicking off a conversation, finding something that you have in common to get that conversation
Mhm.
going, sharing with them what it is that you're trying to do, right? I'd love to bring you into my network, but this is what I'm doing. Career transition. You're already in that role. I'd love to learn more from you, right? And then, like we talked about before, once you've got them, then you need to keep them and build that relationship. So those are just some things that I share with my clients to try to make that concept of networking, in person or virtual, not feel
Mhm.
so daunting and scary.
I love everything about this. Y'all got all types of free coaching here. So thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So, but I'm gonna stop you right there because now everybody need to pay you. Uh, coinks, coinks. No more tips. No more free tips. Lightning round. These are
Oh
my
boy.
questions about nothing.
Okay. Okay. I
Okay.
think I'm ready.
So clearly you were in the gifted and talented track. Um, and we often talk about this in my business, and I have, like, I say this with my clients all the time, that like there is a double-edged sword of being brilliant.
Oh.
And that double-edged sword is you're so smart you can overthink things.
Mm-hmm.
You overthink things before you will actually put it into motion, or you're so brilliant that you never run out of ideas and there's always some shiny object you're chasing, right?
Yes.
So then, as a brilliant person, obviously, what are some of your tips for narrowing your focus?
Oh my goodness. I'm personally struggling with this. I'm full transparency here. I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, things have been going so well in my career and it's
Mhm.
going well with my business, and I'm riding on this high. And so I'm saying yes to like everything. Everything that brings me joy. It's going to help
Mhm.
me learn a new skill. It's going to help me grow my business. I've been saying yes to all of it. It's like I'm on this 8-hour layover in Florida. So I'm
Okay,
trying to go to Disney World and ride all the rides and hit all the parks I can
in
before I
eight
got to catch
hours.
this flight home
Right,
in eight
right, right, right.
hours,
In
right?
actually 5 hours because you got to get back to the airport.
Yes, I still got to go through TSA. So
Mhm.
I'm doing a lot, and it's like my family and friends and stuff are like, you need to slow down. But sometimes when you do something new and and
Mhm.
everything goes well, it just fuels you and makes you, like
Yep,
I said, want a little bit more, a little bit more. So
the
can I
power of
toss the
momentum.
question back to you though? So as
Mhm.
a brilliant woman of your caliber,
Mhm.
do you have any tips
Oh
for
yeah.
us?
So now you want me to coach you? Hold please.
Please do.
Somebody bring me my coaching cape. No.
I'm ready.
Okay. So I think that there is this thing called DTM,
Okay.
doing too much.
Oh, well, listen,
Right? It's like
I'm
doing too much. Doing
I'm
too
I'm
much.
I'm the captain, the co-captain, the chair,
You're
the
on the team
treasurer,
of team do too much.
secretary.
I do think that at a certain point, like when I like to advise my clients to have a world domination notebook. And
Mm.
so, like, when you have these really awesome ideas, that you take that notebook, mine is bedazzled, and you write the idea down, but write it almost as if it is a business plan. So,
Okay.
as much detail as possible, timing, when you would roll it out, like capture the fullest version of the idea and then close that notebook,
Oh, okay.
right? Because I think that especially with side hustlers and business owners and living like the multidimensional, you do not have the gift of time. right? Like your time is pretty much spoken for. So
Yeah.
if you are distracted and pulled into all these different directions, and you're doing a bunch of stuff but not very well, or you're
Mm-hmm.
burning yourself out, right? Because as an overachiever, you're probably doing them all well, but you're probably tired, right? You're probably tired, and then you probably get sick.
Something suffers, right?
So
Yeah.
something suffers. And so like I think also fighting the tendency to say that yes to everything, saying yes to the right things.
Right.
So
Yes.
yes
That's
is
good.
having a strategic yes versus an all-encompassing yes. And there are things where like if it doesn't serve you, or you don't see how it benefits you, your career, or your business,
Mm-hmm.
and in the right order, right? That you can say no, or you can say not right now, or I refer stuff out. So if it's not right for me, I refer it out to another woman of color,
I love that.
right? And so yeah, very intentional about that, right?
Listen, this is
So
good.
and so yeah, and it does kind of, there is the power of momentum. So I applaud you on keeping your momentum. It's easier to maintain momentum than to start and stop, start and stop, start and stop, start and stop, start and stop. But I do think like you know, you're going to get to a point where you have more clients than you have time, right?
Yeah.
And it'll come to a point where you're like, okay, I haven't slept yet, you know. There's going to come a point to that. So like I would start thinking about yes to the right things. I'm gonna talk to you more about raise your price point.
Uh-huh.
That'll that changes the type of client you work with, and you'll have fewer clients at a higher price point. But that's a coaching for another day. Come back for the Side Hustlers Challenge December 14th. We'll talk
There we
about that.
go. Put a pin
Boom.
in it.
Boom. Okay, so what are you currently reading? Because leaders are readers.
Yes, I am a reader, but I put a pause on reading books for a minute because I'm
Uh-huh.
reading so many other things when it comes to work.
Mhm.
But right now, probably like everyone else, I'm obsessed with the podcast. Oh
Get
man,
into it. What are you
love
listening
them.
to?
Love. I don't even listen to the radio anymore. I listen to podcasts. When I'm walking my dog, I listen to podcasts. So the one of the main ones that I listen to is the Daily, which
Okay.
is New York Times podcast. I got to
Hmm.
say, a little bit in the know on the news. I also like to listen to Ratchet and Respectable by Demetria Lucas. Get into that for those that don't know.
Ratchet and respectable. Okay. Okay. Got it.
Right, Ratchet and Respectable. And then there's two podcasts that I highly recommend. They're not posting right now. They're more active on Instagram, for example, so you can still get a daily dose of
Hmm.
information. But I do recommend going to check out the episode. So of course, the first one is the Michelle Obama podcast
Yes,
because
of course.
obviously, come on.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then the second one is Myleik Teal's podcast. She just changed the name. It used to be called My Taught You, but
Uh-huh.
Myleik is the founder of Curlbox.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
a
Yes. Yes.
right. Okay.
Hmm.
So for those that don't know, she's amazing. So I recommend checking out her podcast. And Myleik is spelled Myleik. Myleik
Okay.
Teal.
We'll put it in the links.
Yes,
We'll put
please
it in the
do.
comments. We'll put it in the comments. So then, before we land the plane,
Mhm.
and you had to give our viewers a golden nugget.
A golden
Now,
nugget.
if you wanted to give them a golden nugget to take with them, what is your golden nugget?
My golden nugget. Okay. Actually, it's gonna tie into what you do, Keita. Not
Uh-huh.
everyone knows this, but you and I met last year when you did a goal setting workshop at Microsoft. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Let's
Keita
do it, sir.
conducted this workshop for our Blacks at Microsoft Employee Resource Group and our Women at Microsoft. The room was packed. Folks was all online. It was amazing. And so we talked about, was it put the goal in goal setting?
That sounds like something I would say. Yeah.
Yes, it was good. It was good. And so after talking with other people who attended that workshop, what I understood was, if you're the type of person that kind of gets discouraged, or you
Mhm.
start working on something and you give up, or you feel like the goals that you want to achieve just they seem too big or they're too
Mhm.
difficult, then like break it down, right? And start small and then just keep working your way up to greater, right?
Mhm.
So it's just like those little wins. I know for me, they make all the difference. They help boost my confidence, right? When I'm able to, if I can accomplish this, then I can
Then I
do
can do
this and I
that,
can
and I
do
can
that.
do this. The confidence is in
Yes.
the doing. The
Yes.
confidence is in the doing. The
It
confidence.
is.
I'm gonna get off that soapbox going.
No, but it's so true. So yeah, that's definitely my nugget. It's like, go ahead and set a goal. And maybe your goal is something like, okay, I'm going to go for a walk at the same time every day for
Mm.
1 week. And then from there, just build out that plan. Go ahead and block the time off in your calendar, set a couple of alarms to remind you, lay your clothes out ahead of time, whatever you need to do. And after that week is done and you realize, oh, that wasn't difficult at all,
We'll do it
then
next week.
you'll do it next week. And then you're like, let me tackle this. And before long, you're applying for that new job. You changing careers, you changing the world, you leaving corporate, you're doing all the things.
You're doing all the things. I think that my coach laid this one on me. And yes, I have multiple coaches. Your habits become your reality.
I like that.
Boom.
Listen, every time y'all see my computer or the camera shaking, it's because I'm typing.
You're taking notes.
I'm taking notes.
I'm gonna send you the recording. Your habits become your reality. And I think that is the part that I scream from the mountaintops when it comes to goal setting and accountability, that like when you set a goal, play from the space of human nature. That human nature it's incredibly hard to rewire your brain. It's incredibly hard to develop habits. It takes 33 to 66 days to develop a new habit and 90 days plus for you to actually see the fruits of that labor. And so oftentimes when we're trying to do something new, we don't see that instantaneous result and then we're ready to quit. Or it's harder than we thought it was going to be. And we just have not given ourselves the runway to be successful. And that is whether it's a health and wellness goal, whether it's a career goal, whether it's, whatever you're doing in your business is always 90 days ahead of you. So the seeds you aren't planting today are going to hit you in February.
Gosh, yes.
Right. And so like, I'm going to step off that soapbox too. So the 90 days, y'all, 90 days. So in closing, how can people find you? How can they get in touch with you?
Yes. Well, you can find me on LinkedIn, obviously. So just look me up, Aliesha Pulliam, out there on LinkedIn. And then if you have questions, you want to learn more about my coaching services, I do the one-on-one coaching and then also public speaking. So you can reach me at apcareercoaching@gmail.com. I'm going to be all in the comments, letting everybody know. So.
Oh, yes. See, this is why I love comms folks, because you know how to land the plane. All right. So thank you so much for joining us. And like I said, I am Keita Williams. I am the founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. We are an elite accountability practice, so we are professional butt kickers. And I want to remind you, if you haven't already got your spot, go ahead and register for our 5 days of focus challenge that starts on December 14th. And that is dedicated to our aspiring corporate escape artists. So if you have a side hustle or a side business that you are looking to scale, I plan on sharing with you the technique that I use to transition out of corporate. I did it in 8 months. When I was ready to go, I was ready to go. I was ready to go. And so like, please sign up, reach out to your concierge, Monica or Cece, if you need any additional support. If there's questions that you have, I want to invite you all to a kick-ass complimentary coaching call. So if there is a bit of strategy, especially when it comes to time management or what we do with side hustlers, reach out and we'll get some time on my calendar. So once again, for the final time, wait, Monica sent me a note. Monica has letters. If your first name begins with A through G or O through R, Monica is your concierge. Cece has everybody else. I'm going to get this right. I'm going to get it together. So once again, enjoy the rest of your day. Let's get after it. We'll see you back here. We have some all-star guests through the end of the year. They all have magical storylines and magical women with magical vision, and they are executing. Okay, wait. CC sent me a note. CC has letters H through N and S through Z. If your first name begins with that CC is your concierge. We'll look for us in your DMs. Look for friend requests from us. All right, y'all. Thank you all. Let's get after it. Hold on.